Hello everybody, it's the Insane TCG guy bringing you another video tonight because I wanted to make two. Now, before I get into this deck, I want to make a quick announcement. This this channel will not just be doing Magic. I'm going to be looking at some dead card games and some other card games as well, except Pokemon. But and I don't think I'll be buying any Yu-Gi-Oh cards either, but I do have a bunch of Star Trek cards from Decipher, and I have first edition and few second editions. I have also cards from a dead card game called Dixie. It's about the Civil War. I don't know how to play it, so that's why I haven't really done anything with it yet. If you're coming here from my Facebook page, you'll know that I did a while back post pictures of one of the decks, but I think I got 2 or 3 decks of that. I have to find them so I can show them off. But also, I decided that after I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll start doing some giveaways because I got a lot of cards, and it's not just cards that I can't sell. Like, for instance, I still have a full playset of Goblin Kings that I've been holding on for since 2014 that I haven't used. So, well, they've been used. I just haven't used them because I bought them off my friend when I got my Goblin deck. But anyways, enough of that. And yes, I do have an extra History of Benalia, which I could also give away. But enough of that. Anyways, this is my Legacy Dragon deck. I think it's a Legacy deck because of the Killmouth Dragons. I'm not sure if they are modern. Well, they're in there somewhere. But anyways, this is my Legacy Dragon deck. Sarkhan Dragon Soul. This is a Planeswalker from the 2019 decks, not the actual one. And it's a little foil, so I gotta read this off camera. Sarkhan deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature your opponents control. That's for +2 loyalty. -1 loyalty deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. And then -9 loyalty. Search your library for any number of dragon creature cards. Put them onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. That could be bad considering most of this deck is dragons. I'm going to do enchantments first, and I know this is unorthodox, but enchantments and sorceries first because I got very few of these and I'd like to get a few more. Like, for instance, Berserker's Onslaught. I'd like to get another one of these. Attacking creatures that control have double strike. And I only have 2 of these, I think. Yeah, 2 of these in here. Now, this is a 75 card deck. I wanted to point that out. But as an additional cost, you may reveal a dragon card from your hand. Draconic Roar deals 3 damage to target creature. If you reveal a dragon card or control the dragon as you cast it, it deals 3 damage to target to that creature's controller. So, yeah. And the last card that's a non-dragon is another enchantment called Dragon's Tempest. I only have 1 of these, but you best believe I want 4 of these in this deck. Whenever a creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, it gains haste until end of turn. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, it deals X damage to target creature or player where X is the number of dragons you control. Alright. That card right there can come in handy. I want 4 in this deck, though. 4. But, of course, Dragon Lord Servants, dragon spells cost me 1 colorless less. There's 4 of those. These are Dragon Speaker Shamans. I got 4 of these as well. They make dragon spells cost 2 less. Those cost 3. The Goblin costs 2. The Dragon Lord Servant thing. I only have 1 of these. I'd like to get a couple more because they only cost 2, and you can give it flying for 1 red. For 1 colorless and 1 red, you can pump it up. And it's got Formidable for 4 colors and 2 red. Put a 4/4 dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Activate this ability only if creatures you control have a total power of 8 or greater. Now, judging by what you just saw, I'm going to be able to put dragons out pretty fast. I have 4 dragon hatchlings. They just pump up for 1 red. They got flying. There's 0/1s, but they only cost 2 mana. That's why they're there. I have 4 of these cards, Dragon Eggs. They cost 2 colors, 1 red. There's 0/2s, and when it dies, you put a dragon token onto the battlefield. And you put a 2/2 red dragon onto the battlefield, and it's got 1 red. Pay 1 red, you can pump it up. +1/+0. These are 3 Sarkhan Whelps. These are 3 of the dragons I got in the deck. I only had 3 of these, so I only have 3. Go figure. I'm too cheap to pay 25 cents to get another one. And I would get one too. They only cost 2 colors, 1 red, and they're 2/2s. And whenever you activate an ability of a Sarkhan Planeswalker, Sarkhan Whelp deals 1 damage to any target. The Planeswalker that I got in this deck is the only Planeswalker. It's a Sarkhan Planeswalker, obviously. But I want to kind of get... I don't even want him in this deck. So, when everything fails, you know, these Sarkhan Whelps, their ability will become useless because I don't even want a Planeswalker in this deck. Now, you're probably saying, oh, I should keep it because of that final ability, but it costs 6 mana. I used to have 2 mana flares in here, so that wouldn't matter if I had the 2 mana flares still, but, you know. I only got 1 of these. It's a filler. Fledgling Dragon. It's from, what's that set? It's one of the older sets anyway. Watch me figure it out. Yeah, it's gonna drive me crazy because I forget that set. But it's got an ability called Threshold. You have Threshold when you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, but when it has Threshold, it gets +3/+3, gains the pumpable ability, so it becomes a 4/4. No, a 5/5 because it's a 2/2, and it gains the pumpable ability. Furnace Whelps, I got 4 of these. Yeah, I got 4 Furnace Whelps, 2/2s, pump for 1 red. And I also got Dragon Whelps, which are 2/3s, pump for 1 red. But at the beginning of my end stage, if I use this ability 4 or more times, I have to sacrifice him. It's this Demanding Dragon. It's a 5/5. It's from M19. I think this was from that deck too. I'm not really too sure, but I just bought the deck because I wanted the Sarkhan Whelps. I didn't even care for Sarkhan. Buying a fucking deck for 3 uncommons. Oh man. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to target opponent unless that player sacrifices a creature. So, Hellkite Charger. I got 2 of these. They cost 6, 4 colors, 2 red. Flying in Haste. Whenever it attacks, I may pay 5 colors and 2 red. If I do, untap all attacking creatures, and after this phase, there is an additional combat phase, which of course is great for this deck. Alcuum Hellkites, I got 2 of these. It's got a landfall ability. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. If that land is a mountain, it deals 2 damage to that creature or player instead. And I got 25 mountains in this deck, so it's always going to be a mountain. Moonveil Dragon. It's a 5/5, and it costs 6 mana, 3 colors, 3 red. And it has a pumpable ability. It's for 1 red, you can pump each creature you control +1/+0 until end of turn. Oh, 1 Prey Caesar Dragon. Can't really see it because the focus sucks on this camera phone, but 4 colors, 2 red, and it has Devour 2. And as it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice any number of creatures this creature enters the battlefield with twice as many 1/1 counters on it. So when you sacrifice a creature, it gets 2 1/1 counters. When it attacks, it deals damage to target creature or player equal to the number of +1/+1 counters on it. So there's that. I don't have one of those. I own 2, but I only need that one for this deck. I'm trying to get all the big dragons down to 1, so I can have more flexibility. Shockmaw Dragon deals combat damage to a player. It deals 1 damage to each creature that player controls. So when it deals combat damage to a player, each creature that player controls gets a point of damage. Oh, yeah. Here's where Allegiance, which is not a modern set. These suckers right here cost 6 mana, but it's got a morph ability for 8, 6 colors, 2 red. So for those of you who don't know what morph is, you play this face down for 3 colors mana, then you turn it face up by paying the 6 colors and 2 red. But otherwise it costs 5 colors and 2 red, but when you flip it up, you basically get to search your library for a dragon, reveal it, and put it in your hand. So, these guys. I can't tell you how many times I've won games thanks to these guys. Amplify 3. Amplify is an ability where when you play it, you can reveal any number of cards from your hand, and you reveal any number of dragons from your hand, and it gets 3 +1/+1 counters for each dragon you reveal, and you can tap it, and it deals damage equal to the number of creatures on it to target creature or player. Siege Dragons. When these come into play, you destroy all walls. And then whenever Siege Dragon attacks, if defending player controls no walls, it deals 2 damage to each creature without flying that player controls, which is handy because most players don't play walls. I'm going to keep 2 of these in here though, because I do want this to show up more often. And I'm going to keep 2 of the 2 Killmouth Dragons, and I'm going to keep 2 of the Imperial Hellkites. The rest of them are going to go down to 1 apiece. Bowguard Hellkite. It has flash, which means it could be played as an instant. It costs 6 colors, 2 red. And when it comes into play, it deals 5 damage divided as I choose among any number of target creatures and or players. So there's that. As I said before, there are 25 mountains in this deck. And yes, I have the mountains. Well, I am missing one. I gotta go find that sucker. I think I know where it is, but anyways, there's my dragon deck. Legacy Dragons. You guys, if you want to build a cheap deck, this is it. The most expensive cards in here are probably the Dragon Speaker Shamans. And they're not that expensive. But It's mostly bulk rares, so you can actually build this deck for cheap. And if you want to use this Sarkhan, like I said, I bought a deck just for the 3 uncommon dragons. But yeah, I bought that deck for. I was actually thinking about building a Dragon EDH deck, but that plan obviously fell through because there's not a whole lot of cards for red that drops down the cost of creatures. So I may still build a Dragon Knight deck. Who knows? But I don't think so. I already have a Knight deck. But yeah, and that Knight deck is EDH. So maybe someday I'll do a video on that. But like I said earlier, check it out. Keep an eye out because I'm looking at doing some contests where people can get cards sent to them, cards that I own, and maybe at some point maybe start doing some unboxings and stuff like that. Even though I don't really like doing I don't like the unboxings on YouTube because it's just annoying watching people open up boxes. Some people like watching people open up boxes. Who knows? And maybe I'll just go out and buy packs of Magic cards and give them away to people for contests. But I am going to do a contest on this channel because I expect this channel to rise pretty fast. A lot of people play Magic, so. But just keep in mind, though, this is not going to be just Magic because I'm going to talk about other card games too. Because I wouldn't be insane if I didn't talk about other card games, dead card games that still exist. No, I will not be doing any online crap. But anyways, this video has been long enough, and it's getting late, and I'm about to go hit the sack. Good night.